ever felt like you were struggling to communicate clearly? Like the words in your mind just doesn't go as you planned or hoped. And sometimes it leaves you feeling misunderstood, or it sounds like you don't know what the heck you're talking about, or you just feel frustrated. Well, I want to let you know that if this sounds like you are not alone. Articulating your thoughts can be challenging at times, but it also you can develop a skill that you can take it one step at a time to be able to articulate yourself clearly and effectively. I'm Dr. Cheryl Clark, a licensed marriage family therapist and a communication coach, and I help people to discover their authentic voice, break through the barriers of reaching their true potential, and the founder of Speak Your Power Now. And today I'm going to walk you through 12 steps of how to organize your thoughts and be able to communicate with clarity and confidence. See, our words are a reflection of our thinking. That's firstly. And our thoughts are clear, have to be clear and structured. But at times, we may be in a rush to speak or too little, or be able to not be able to have the foundation of what it looks like to have a clear and structured way of communicating. And we can do that very easily and effectively. So hold on to your seats because we're going to dive right into it. So if this is your first time here, I tell everyone, go get your paper and pens out. And I write down and some thoughts that you may have because it's very easy for you to be able to lose your train of thought. So we are going to put some things out here and go ahead and get your marker, your pens, your paper, whatever you may have to write on so you can follow along. And today I'm going to give you 12 steps. I'm going to go through them slowly so you can really jot them down and see what resonates with you, right? Because and when you understand what resonates with you, then you can be able to obtain it and really hold on to the information. So the first step and what we're dealing with today is how you can communicate with clarity. Communicating with clarity. So clarity is the key word today. So when you are communicating with clarity, then you're able to now speak with clarity, move with clarity, say what I mean, and really have an opportunity to do that, right? So clarity is our word for today. Hopefully everyone can see that. All righty. So the first step we're going to have is number one. The number one thing I want you to first do, the first step, these are going to be our steps. So the number one step is when you are moving into clarity, clear communication brings with you connecting, stilling the mind. You have to be able to still your mind. Still the mind. What do I mean by that? Stilling the mind means that you're going to take a few minutes every day. And I like reflection. There's times in my life that I always reflect on what I am committed to. So I commit daily moments of stillness. And in the morning is very good for me. So with clear communication truly starts with you able to have a clarity of mind. And because of all of what's going on, you may be busy, you may be cluttered with things, our mind and everything else, your thoughts may be racing, your to-do list, what you got to do today, maybe other people expectations of you. So when our minds are full of noise, it becomes very difficult for us to connect with our true thoughts, right? So our true thoughts is extremely important for us to be able to clearly express them clear and concise and with confidence. So with stilling this is a very powerful tool because what it does is it grounds us. It practice you getting in a real genuine space of clarity. So reflective moment, whatever you do, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's yoga, whatever it is, you need to sit comfortably. I say 5 to 10 minutes to really get your mind clear. And in the morning, each day before you start, it's important. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, get that oxygen to the brain, right? Notice that the tension in your body, where it is. Let yourself be released by that, right? Exhale, inhale, all in and out. Because it isn't about you emptying your mind completely. Now, you hear me here. It's not about you emptying your mind. It's about you really getting still. And instead of you thinking of opportunities of how I'm going to settle my mind or what I'm going to do or whatever, what's the next thing I'm going to do? It's really about over time learning to be with yourself. And why is this important to communication, Cheryl? Why are you saying that getting still? Because stillness helps you reconnect with your inner voice. And I'm all about inner voices because your inner voice, when you pause, you can get connected with that. Because so many times the inner critic starts to talks you out of things, talks you into things. And when you are meaningfully listening to your own thoughts, without any interference from the outside, any pressures, oftentimes the stillness gives you the insight to really get clarity on your next step. And the noise of the busy day, of what's happening around you, you really can't get clear. So clarity begins with training yourself to listen and recognize what truly matters to you. What is the values that you have? What are my priorities? What is my authentic self? What does that even mean? So when you do this, some tips for you to really practice stillness is do it regularly. If morning is ideal for you, set the tone for the day. I love doing it in the morning because it sets your tone for the day. However, it has to be consistent. It has to fit in your routine. Maybe mornings don't work for you. Maybe you work at nights, whatever it is. You need to get still so you can be able to navigate your day. Then also, I would say create a designated space for this quiet time. Get a comfortable space where you won't be disturbed. Get a separate room if you possibly can, or a closet, whatever it is, that you can simply do whatever you need to do in the favorite spot of your home or favorite spot of an area that you can focus that stillness. Focus on your breathing. Begin to take deep breaths. Inhale, outhale, slow inhale and exhaling slowly helps you ground yourself. And this is really good for people that have situations with anxieties and things of that nature. It helps calm the nervous system and it allows for you to flow. It gets you really aligned with your thoughts. And any thoughts that may arise that is judging you or holding you back, you can simply observe those things and gently remind yourself how to focus on your breathing, right? And focusing how you can anchor yourself in the world, how you can begin to over time notice that even in challenging moments, you can tap into that inner calm for clarity to help you respond instead of react to a situation. Because practicing stillness means that I'm going to have the foundation of understanding my authentic self of communication and allowing myself to speak from a place that aligns with my values, aligns with my true self. So practicing these things every single day, practicing the still moments will allow you to strengthen your thoughts and it will freely begin to flow. But you got to begin to practice it. All right. So the second thing is define what your core values is. So the second step is that you're going to define your core values. All right. Define your core values. Now, why is this important? Because your values are the guiding principles of your life, right? And we act internally as a compass, actually. And these decisions that we make and these things that we do, how we communicate effectively, when our values are very, very clear, that means your words are aligned with your actions, and then you're creating a foundation in with you of trust and integrity for yourself, right? Firstly, let's talk about that. Because why does your core values matter in communication? If you don't know what you stand for, it's easily to be swayed by others, their opinions, what they are doing, and you get lost in someone else's thoughts. You get lost in people pleasing. You get lost in that. So when you are not communicating in a way that's from a place of your clear values, you can't be able to genuinely communicate from a space that makes sense to you. So when people can't authentically connect with their core message, and their strength is understanding their values in their relationship, their message, or whatever is happening. When you're honest with your core values, your communication is likely to be very focused and very transparent. As once you have straightforwardness and you're open, people can see that. People can actually see what you're conveying. And it's very important for you to recognize what that means to you. So here are some steps where you can take right away for opening up and discovering what your core values are. And like we said, reflecting in those moments of the stillness is really going to be able to connect you to that, right? So it's about how you are feeling fulfilled. What are your values in the moment? What playing in those moments? Identify what bothers you. Oftentimes, our values reveals things that frustrates us. So the things like, so be very honest with you, like maybe someone that you like honesty, right? Or you like somebody, you like people, you like justice, you like for it to be fair. So when that bothers you, when you feel like someone is not being treated fairly, that's a core value of yours. Or if you feel like someone lied to you, you like honesty, that's a core value of yours. And it's a non negotiable for you. So, those non negotiable principles that you are not compromising on, you live through, no matter what the situation is, it's the backbone of your message. So, giving you the confidence when you communicate is, how do I communicate this with clarity and purpose? And in my course, Communicating Effectively, and I have a guide there for you, and it's a course on how you can find your voice when you communicate, because defining your core values is the root. When you become authentically who you are in the world, it reflects that and it aligns you with your communication. And then you're going through it powerfully, because now you're able to see that this opportunity that you have to reflect your true self is understanding that this is my opportunity to get in alignment with my core values. Number 3, identify your passions. Great, I changed my marker up. So your passion. So you're going to identify what your passions are. I'm going to S on that because you have more than one passions. To identify your passions, number 3. Now, people come to me a lot of times not understanding what their purpose is, their passion is, their pursuits, and what to do. And I think this is an exciting time. I love to walk people through exploring what their passions are. Because once they ignite this excitement, this curiosity around this within you, then you know that you feel alive. You know that you've hit and revealed a deeper part of you, that when you hit that passion, you hit that purpose, when you're speaking in a place where now it's passionate. Think about when you talk from a place of passion. Your voice changes, your countenance changes, everything about you is just contagious. Your message is very natural, and you're engaging with people, and it's very memorable. And you ever seen somebody like that? This is why your passion really matters, is because our passions is the thing that makes our words compelling. Our passions and our ideas that stand out when you talk about something, does it excite you? Is it natural, authentic to you? Or are you faking it? Because people can see a fake. They can see when you're faking it. So your energy draws people in. It creates a connection and it goes beyond just words. And it has, for instance, if someone is passionate about global warming or environmental or animals, their energy shines through. Like my son, he's an animal science major, and anytime he talks about animals, his facial expression changes. His overall message is so like, I want to save the animals, and I want to be that joy for the animals. I want to teach people about animals, how to love animals. And you can see that he is so passionate about the love of animals. So whatever your passion is, it should bring you joy. So this is what I do when you may not be sure about your passion. Tap into this. What brings you joy? Think about the times when you were truly inspired, truly energized. What were you doing? What were you actually talking about? What you naturally gravitated to? This is the things you need to look for. I know I loved working with people. I know I loved to strategize with people how they could be their best selves and things of that nature. So I became a therapist, and then I started to see that I love communication. I saw a lot of people struggling with that, and then I started to Speak Your Power Now platform. And then I said, okay, let me show people on a bigger platform, and hence I started the YouTube channel. So this is where you can begin to look and see what you gravitate towards. And then notice what you get lost in, your track of time, your passion. Usually you can do it for hours on end, and you can get lost in it. So I want you to identify, these are clues for you. You are struggling with what your passion is. And if you don't know what your passion is, you can contact me, get a discovery call with me, and we can recognize together what that looks like. You know, and if this is the major one, your passion is connected to what problem do you love solving? That's the passion. The passion is oftentimes links you to the kinds of challenges that we really enjoy taking on. So I want you to consider the activities that you're drawn to and embracing that with your communication. Because once you identify your passions, you're going to make a conscious effort, I would say, to then start having them in conversation, speaking about the passion, helping you to articulate how you can connect this with your passion. And then it could come out very deep. You can come out with being able to speak and allow yourself to connect with others on a deeper level. Like you can get with other people that are doing the same things, the same values, and it can infuse you to then step out with clarity, step out and truly reflect on what's meaningful to you and possibly meaningful to others. All right, step 4, clarify your purpose. Step 4, purpose. Now, purpose is important. Clarifying your purpose. Now, the purpose is your foundation. It's a foundation of your communication. Why do you say this? Because it drives what you are about to say. And it also drives what we're not saying. So without purpose, our words can feel scattered, it can lack direction and impact. So when you have purpose, it brings a little depth to what you're saying. Guiding your communication can bring deep levels of you being rooted in intention. Why does purpose matter? It matters because we're getting clear about what your purpose is, our communication. So once you shift, it's a simple shift, right? In understanding your thoughts, your actions, or connections. See, when you have purpose-driven conversations, it's not just about delivering the message. It's about how you can create a meaningful experience with someone and knowing the impact, what you want to bring in this communication. And then you want to also, when you are purpose driven, you want to be confident and be very clear, allowing that communication to land, really land. So if you like, say if you want to be an powerful speaker, empowering others, your words, right, should support that. It should be encouraging, positivity, people leaving the listeners like really lifted and motivated and see, listen, I can do this. Like I am hoping that when you leave here, you can say what you really want to say in a very impactful way. And that it's very clear when people leave you, they know what you are about. So identifying what you are doing and what your purpose is. So let me just give you a little quick way of understanding what this means by how you can identify with speaking clarity and with purpose. So the first thing I want you to do is think about the difference you want to make with your words. Do you want to educate? Do you want to inspire? Do you want to challenge? Do you want to bring comfort? Those are the things. So you want to make sure that when you are revealing this or when you're looking in purpose, I want you to see what is the purpose of you having a conversation? What is the purpose of this communication? And I want you to consider, this is the biggest part, how you want others to feel or think when they leave you. See, the purpose driven communication keeps your audience in mind. It's not about you, but you also want to ask yourself, what feelings or thoughts do I want to leave them with? Some people, they always say, I loved what she said or what she did or how the tone. So whether you are communicating with clarity, your emotional tone, what you want to set and guide it through your words is important. That's why I talk a lot about emotional intelligence. I have a video on emotional intelligence. It's very important to be regulated with your emotions when you're speaking. And how do you want to connect to others? Connect to something bigger than you. It's not just about your personal goal and what you want to gain from it. It's tied to something bigger. Your mission, your cause, whatever you want to do in the community, your message is serving a bigger picture. Well, it should. And the depth of your direction of your communication needs to be purpose driven. Is it going to inspire someone? Is it going to educate? Is it going to connect someone? So finding your unique purpose, I'm going to put that word there, unique purpose in your communication, because I have to believe that everybody you could be in the same area, you may be in the same line of work, but your unique purpose is important. You were put on this earth with a unique purpose. So if you want others to be bring people together, if you want maybe just having a conversation that you want to comfort somebody, whatever the purpose of that conversation is, it's everyday conversation. It should be with a purpose. Every conversation becomes an opportunity. Think of it an opportunity. If you haven't met this person before, what is the opportunities? Take it a few moments to remind yourself that you have a purpose and so does that other person. So focusing on what's your intention, aligning that. Purpose-driven conversations is more than just words, right? It's more about how you're getting clear about on why you are speaking and what you hope to achieve with your communication. And that becomes the focus, and that's powerful. That becomes memorable. That becomes in alignment with what you're doing in a more meaningful and impactful way. Now, this next one, number 5. This one, I want you to look to expand your thinking and your vocabulary. So I'm going to get into this because once you begin to look at this, I want you to look at how you can your vocabulary. Because once you look at expanding your vocabulary, you can see how you can expand your communication. So with understanding that reading fills your mind with new ideas and structure with language and everything, I'm suggesting that you read something 5 to 10 pages a day. It may be a to-do book or a how-to, biographies, history, classical literature. I say step out the box. Don't just stay in your area. I don't just stay in my area of psychology. I read different kinds of books because then you get to have a broader sense of thinking. It's just not about what you do. How about thinking about how does cars work? Think about how the ingenuity of people, biographies of different people. How does other people live? Opening up your mind to new perspectives to enrich your vocabulary. And this will absorb a well-structured idea because each book that you read and it exposes you to a new way. Also, fiction also expands your imagination. So I love mysteries. Those are the things that you can, fiction books. Some people love stories, whatever it is. Offer yourself fresh ideas because this will expand your language and to express yourself. So I want you to consider choosing books and new ideas, biographies, like I said. And I want you to look at something that you have never, a genre that may not, you may not be that interested in, but it gives you access. It gives you access to how even the books, how it's structured. It gives you, so I'm asking you to read 5 to 10 pages a day, just enough to just to go a little deeper without overwhelming you. So you could just have the doorway of different organizations that you can get clear, right? To clear your thoughts with different things, right? The next one, the step 6, number 6, and this one is good too, organizing your thoughts. This is good for when you are now talking, organizing, because when you are not organized, you do not know what's happening. Organize your thoughts. So when you are organizing your thoughts, you are able to now write them clearly and say them clearly. Each day, I spend a couple of minutes journaling. I even have a journal. You can get it online, my journal, each day. And then on a regular notebook, I have it right here, or a notebook. You get these tools each day. Spend a few minutes journaling. Anything on your mind, experiences, ideas, goals, it doesn't matter. See, this process lets you get really clear about your thinking and put it on paper. So before you speak, writing is a powerful tool to identify and refining and prioritizing your thoughts. So writing allows you to see your thoughts on paper, understand how to organize them when they're all muddled up or jumbled up. Write them down. Get a chance to get the ideas on paper so you can get structured, and then it will become to get clearer. And then as you begin to write down the thoughts, you can then edit and refine them. And then you start getting clarity when you see it on paper. I love writing. That's why I love writing it down, because now you get the things out of your head. And do this as a routine, like every day. Just take a page or two and write it down. Write anything. You can say, write about what happened yesterday, the goals that you're looking forward to, challenges that you may have faced. Just start journaling and regularly train yourself to think and organize these ideas that may have been in your head. And over time, it can translate you to verbally communicating them more powerfully. The seventh one is a personal statement. And I have this in the course. Your personal statement your personal statement, mission statement, I should say. Let me put that mission statement. Your personal mission statement is the thing that we all need. Now, a personal mission statement is something very short, but powerful, but it defines what you want, what you desire, how you're going to show up, your hopes, what you desire to achieve, and the statement helps you stay focused. Intentional. Why does it matter in your communication? Because a lot of times our statements, when we don't realize why we're here on the earth, what are we here to serve? It reminds you that my mission is to encourage powerful for women to find their voice in the world, and your voice in that matters. Whatever it is, Because sometimes when someone asks you a question, oh, well, what do you do? Well, what are you about? Your mind goes left. That's very natural. Sometimes it can happen. But when you craft a mission statement and practice this mission statement, you're able to reflect on your own values, like we talked about. So once you identify your core values, like we did earlier, the purpose of what means most to you. What are you about encouragement? What are you doing in your life? Are you there to structure policies, whatever you are there for? Your mission needs to be clear. And also it needs to be compassion. You need to really be able to say it with conviction, I would say, and confidence. When you're in conversation, you want to speak intentionally and impactfully. So the action around this is using the verbs of your mission of activating what you desire rather than I believe that I'm trying. No, what I'm striving to do is have an open up conversation with women, and so they can know that they matter. I'm striving to inspire minds to know that they can tap into their inner voice and speak powerfully to their future. That's what I'm striving to do. And by the end of this time, that is what and then you're leaving people, well, that's what you're striving. How can I be a part of that? What's your mission? It's not about you. It was about other people. You see, mine was about how I can encourage other women, how I can do that. What is your mission about? And other people, what is your mission about? Is centering around yourself? No. But before you do this, I want you to guide yourself every day and these daily interactions with yourself, because over time you're going to notice that you're just going to come second nature to you and you'll be able to see it and align yourself with your mission. And then things are going to be able to come to you. It's going to be able to come to you because now you see yourself as that. You see yourself moving in that. All right. Number 8. I love them all, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna always say I love them all, but this one is good. Visualization. Now, why is visualization important? Because if you don't visualize yourself powerful, this is a powerful technique because communication starts with you being able to confidently express that. And by mentally rehearsing these conversations, it's important. So creating these mental roadmaps for you, this is really what it is, just a pathway of real world scenarios like visualization. It primes you to handle those challenging conversations with calm, clarity, and confidence. So 3 C's: calm, clarity, and confidence. So how visualization works is our brains respond to images and scenarios, right? So when you are looking at how you are moving in this life, visualizing yourself, if you know you have something big coming up, and you can visualize yourself in that. Visualize all the things that could happen and go wrong, all of that stuff, right? But then you're looking at yourself moving towards it powerfully, and you can reduce the anxiety surrounding this. See, visualization is a mental thing that prepares you for those high-stake conversations, those challenging conversations, those presentations that may be difficult, or you may be having a difficult conversation. And what it does is it helps you to be able to vividly imagine yourself communicating well and believing in yourself that you can embody this success. So how do I visualize? The first thing that I do is I find a quiet place, I close my eyes, I picture myself in real life scenarios. And this is one of the key that people don't do. Now, you got to visualize yourself with going through the challenges as well. Maybe you woke up late, maybe some things happened, maybe it was raining, maybe you lost a shoe, whatever that thing, but you see yourself at the end. So you see yourself calm, cool, and collective and confident moving through this conversation. Picture yourself with all the details, your posture, your gesture. and you're responding to others. Imagine yourself moving through these tough conversations, taking a moment when somebody says something challenging to you, you taking a breath and then you responding and visualizing yourself responding thoughtfully and confidently, maintaining your composure. And you're saying with your back up straight, and you're spending time with yourself, visualizing yourself successfully communicating. And guess what this is doing? It's rewiring your brain for confidence. It's rewiring your brain for practicing consistency. It's rewiring your brain to notice that this is natural for you. It's rewiring your brain for real life conversations, and that you can bring yourself with the self-assurance of the clarity, of the calm, of the confidence that you have within you to move through these conversations, even when it's a challenge. Even when it's a challenge, this is what you can do. So the next one is boundaries. You heard me say this before. You will always have me say this again and again and again. Boundaries. Why does boundaries matter? Boundaries. Boundaries matter because in your message, the essential part of your communication that you focus is you have to be respectful of your time. And not every conversation or opportunity is worth your investing your time. Yes, I said it. So you got to set clear boundaries around your message, and this will prevent you from having any communication burnout. Oh, yes, there could be communication burnout. Why does these boundaries matter? Because you will find yourself consistently overwhelmed, stretched too thin, or resentful that you're in these conversations or communications. So boundaries help you protect your time, your energy, and your message. And it allows you to engage and interact with your aligned purpose. So when you are in a conversation with something, for instance, if you find that it is draining your energy, set a boundary. Don't engage with the gossip, the negativity conversation. You need to move yourself, remove yourself, and go, and because it's distracting you from your mission. So you need to look at this. How do you set these boundaries? He was like, oh, well, my family members or this and that. No, identify what's worth your time and energy. You reflect on these conversations. Commit to what energizes you and don't, and versus what drains you. Determine what aligns yourself with your purpose. No more moving to say, learn to say no. It's a period. Saying no. Some things require you to say no. So give yourself the invitation to say no. And you can decline politely. Just redirect the conversation to help you maintain your integrity. And this adds value to your mission. This adds even value that you can pause the conversation when you need to remove yourself and realign yourself with your mission and your goals. And putting boundaries there, it really may at first feel uncomfortable, especially when you're not used to doing it. And all these type of conversations will start small. Set 2 boundaries, very measurable, very manageable, build them over time. So if you have to allow yourself to step away or decline something, saying no, this is where you can begin to craft yourself in understanding how to move powerfully in your boundary setting. Because communication is, remember, it's about your intention and gathering what you need to move with your intention to connect with others. Step 10, I love this one. Step 10, moving from FOMO to JOMO. Now, what is this? What is this? What is this? Well, let's talk about it. We've heard of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Well, the truth is, this fear of missing out, saying yes to everything, and you're not being a straight shooter, you're exhausted, you're disconnected, you're not doing the things that you want to do because you have the fear of missing out, and then now you have not created boundaries, and guess what? You are doing everything because you have the fear of missing out. Well, how about we shift to embrace JOMO? The joy of missing out. When you get clear about your priorities, you can find joy in saying no. What does that serve you? It isn't just about restricting yourself, it's about reclaiming your power of focus. What truly matters? What are you aligned with? What's your meaning? What is you got to ask yourself, what is my core priority this year? Like we're about to come to the end of the year, the beginning of the year. What does that look like for me? How can I nourish my spirit, my heart, my soul? What is a real difference I can make? How can I honor this? By setting what is the life that I desire to live. Choose joy. Choose joy. Embracing JOMO. It's not easy, no, but is it worth it? Heck yeah. Because it's about how you can encourage and making your choices and honor your values, knowing that you can create more powerful and meaning relationships from around that. So it's essential for us to get very clear with our communication when to say no to things instead of feeling like we are fear of missing out. But embrace JOMO. The joy of missing out is that there's no distraction when you are focused on your priorities. You're clear and you're very clear and confident and honoring what matters most to you. All right. I hope you like that one. Moving right along to number 11. Now, number 11 is how to speak clearly, right? Speaking clear. This is what we're coming down to. So, speaking clearly is important. So, as we're wrapping it up, coming down to the end, this process of articulating oneself, right, is really about choosing how you can practice with someone. So, I want you to be able to practice this with someone you feel safe with, maybe a colleague or a friend, someone that's not going to be judgy. And for 5 minutes, I want you to talk about a topic or that you really care about. And I want you to look at, so maybe it's something that you journaled earlier about today, but I want you to take this opportunity just to let your words flow and how you talk, structure and create it. So you may have written something down, but I don't want you to talk from what you've written down. I want you to be able to, great communicators, they don't just wake up one day and they just say, okay, I'm going to do this. No, they practice communicating. And the great environments where they practice with is someone that they feel like they're safe with, that can really give constructive criticism and really understand that articulating a conversation or communication, but really you can create environments right there where you are. And by speaking regularly in meaningful topics, you build confidence over time to be able to articulate your thoughts with communication with impact. So by simply cultivating and accumulating and clearing your thoughts with structure, preparing yourself. So find a friend this week, find a colleague, find someone to practice your speaking with. A topic for 5 minutes, just practice this. Speaking regularly strengthens your ability to communicate clearly and effectively. So when you are speaking clearly, you need, and something that you want to speak about, you need to really look at how you can be able to move with this. All right, the last one is your actions. The actions. Marker. Number 12 is your actions. What you going to do now? So solidifying your journey with your clear communication really is about what your goals are you going to set, what's your pathway, how you're going to move with it, and reminding yourself what you're committed to. What are you committed to? See, these goals that you have may be really grand, but I want you to start with something small. Take small intentional steps, small intentional actions. It may be taking my course, communicating, mastering your communication, finding your authentic voice, whatever course you would like to take. Maybe it's contacting me and showing that you need a coach, whatever it is, or taking the worksheet right after this and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, or get in the journal, whatever it is that you're going to do. See, when we are moving in this, these 12 steps will be able to help you. But as we close today, I want you to remember that clarity in your communication is an ongoing process. It's not about you being perfect. It's about connecting with your true self. And understanding your purpose is how you show up authentically. And I hope these 12 steps guided you. And if you are feeling like you are still understanding yourself, I want you to give yourself grace. I want you to give yourself patience and be willing to show up for you, even when it's hard. So this year, let this year be filled with clarity, courage, freedom, and a place where that resonates with you. And finding your voice is you being clear and courageous and empowered this year. So don't forget to like, subscribe, tell someone that you think may benefit from this message. Share the video, and I invite you to join the Speak Your Power Now community. Comment and share how this can be impactful for you. Until next time, thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Cheryl Clark signing off today. And remember, I always leave you with this word. Sometimes your life is defined by one single moment. Let that moment be today.